Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back, loyal viewers. I'm Kerry, the Nosy Housefrau, and I am doing a follow-up to my original video, which I will link below, on the Stauffers. I did not intend to make a follow-up video at all. Usually I would follow up either with comments or just do an after show on my Patreon, but something has come up that's huge enough to do this, and I want to start by saying I demonetized my other video on this topic. And it's a good thing I did, because I got a copyright claim for those itty-bitty clips I used from the Stauffers, and I find that highly obnoxious. I thought of fighting it just for the principle of the thing, but I don't trust the system enough that it wouldn't come back to bite me, even though I was 100% within my rights of fair use. Moving right along, the reason I'm making this video is, remember that word rehoming? It just left a bad taste in all of our mouths. We were like, what? You named your kid after a St. Bernard and then you rehome him like he's on Craigslist. Rehoming? So none of us like that word, but it turns out it's the actual term for what they did. Micah and James Stauffer took it upon themselves to bypass the system that would normally hold their child for 30 days and evaluate him and place him with a family. They wanted to have control of that, so they picked the family themselves. And I'm sure they will tell you that they just wanted to make sure that their son didn't become part of the system, and they wanted to make sure that their son went with a good family. But my concern is, these people have proven they are horrible at making decisions. When they wanted him, Micah decided that anything anybody said didn't matter and it was going to be a great idea. And now that she's picking a family, wouldn't she be very motivated to think well of this family because she wants to give her child away? I am just appalled that rehoming has been an acceptable process, and as you can imagine, of course it has been a system that is widely abused. It leaves so much margin for error, to say the least, and people can pass around children with as little as a notarized letter. This is from the abajournal.com magazine article, and I will put a link to this below, but part of it states, the process of rehoming has been largely unregulated. No federal laws prohibit the exchange of unwanted adopted kids. Most states allow private adoptions, but the processes vary widely and oversight is limited. In most cases, rehoming may be executed by a simple power of attorney letter or a notarized statement without government authorities or even any lawyers vetting the new parents. This process to me is horrific, and I consider it a selfish act that these parents did to say that they know what's best for a child they're getting rid of. They could have at least trusted some of the organizations in place. Do your research and find out who's good, because it turns out there is quite a good foster care system in Ohio. They're not all bad, but I can tell you, deciding to just rehome your kid like it's a Craigslist ad, no matter how much you think you're doing a good job, it's a bad idea. Now, she said in her video that medical professionals told them that their son needed a better fit medically. And yet, this resonated with me in a bad way, because I thought, why did she keep saying that? In fact, the problems with her son were not medical. If it was merely a medical issue, they could have handled it themselves. Why is she so afraid to just say emotionally this child needed a better fit? That alone tells me that she is not looking at the situation clearly enough to be the person who should make this decision. Now, a lot of people have said, why isn't the husband getting heat too? He is. He is getting heat. The thing is, if you look at all of these adoption videos, the many, many adoption videos, Micah is front and center. She is featured, she is narrating. It is her exclusively in those adoption videos, almost always exclusively her. So it's natural that she is the person who's going to get the heat. Even in this video where they did an update on their family, she did most of the talking. She is the on-camera persona. But please don't think for a moment that I don't hold them mutually accountable. So I'm going to keep this short because I'm losing my voice and I'm still working on my Carol Baskin video. But I really wanted to communicate this because I think it is an important notation that is something I overlooked in my last video. Had I actually Googled the term rehome adoption, I might have seen that it was part of the actual lingo they use for this horrible, horrible system of just deciding yourself that you can place a child in a home. Parents who want to get rid of a youth are going to be the last people who should be able to determine where that child should go, because they have a conflict of interest there. They are motivated to put a halo over the head of the person taking their child, and because of that, I feel that they may miss something. I'm not saying these people absolutely did, but given that so many youths who are rehomed have been abused, I think that there need to be other professionals involved. And maybe they'll say there were, but I really hope they didn't just take it upon themselves because they didn't have anybody else in place from the state. And by the way, if you ask anybody from the state, of course, they are going to tell you that they do not like that process either. I hope that this child is in a better place. These two, in my opinion, should have at least taken money that they made off of him in numerous videos about him and his adoption, more than their other children. They've had so many videos about his updates. They should take any monies made from that and put it in a trust for him. They should at least see to that. And let's hope he's in a much better place, and that these two have not made another horrible decision about his welfare.